What's going on, guys? So as you guys know, I was at SEMA this year out in Vegas. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything. So here we go. But first, we got to have our priorities straightened out first, because there's a good amount to tell. So we're gonna hopefully you guys like this video. Let me know what you guys like. If you like it, if you like it. If you don't, if you want to talk about cigars next time, let me know. So, this year I was invited, I was cleared okay to go to SEMA this year. And as you guys know, I am a SEMA member. I've worked with SEMA Action Network for quite some time now, back in DC with the EV mandates, and I have my quarterly teams meeting with them. So when the opportunity to say, hey, you want to come to SEMA out in Vegas? I said, hell yeah. So I can't thank the SEMA Action Network team enough for everything they've done for me. It's this is an absolute blessing to get these opportunities, and I can't thank Lauren and Matt and Eric and of course Karen and Mike and everyone else on the team for okaying some guy out of New Jersey. You know, it's a real awesome feeling to be a part of something as large as SEMA Action Network and getting to experience the things that I've experienced. I'm going to say thank you a lot throughout this video, probably. It's just too bad. So, during SEMA, I was getting DMs and text messages and everything about, hey, have you seen, if you see this booth, go to this booth, see this car, this person's there. And I kept saying, you know, thumbs up or yeah, sure. So you guys don't fully understand how big SEMA is out in Vegas. So for instance, I think there was 1,800 booths there, like vendors there, so 1,800. You know, that's a huge amount. It's silly. And then I was on the first day there. I happened to be talking to, because I got lost, because you get lost there easily. Someone who's actually worked at the Las Vegas Convention Center where SEMA's held, and I just got to talking because he had a cigar in his hand. Like, oh, where'd you get that? I can really go for one. And got to talking, and he said, if you measure each hall, each row in the hall of all the vendors and booths and like measured them all out, you would have to walk 66 miles just to see everything. That's down and back, down and back. One hall, and like there was multiple halls. There's 5 halls, but some of them have 2 levels to them. 66 miles of just walking inside the convention hall. Most of New Jersey isn't 66 miles wide. So, and they were also saying they were projected there was going to be 180,000 attendees there, like people, not just people who are at the booths, but the buyers. Mainly the buyers. I think out of the whole entire time, 180,000. That's not including vendor booths and the people who worked at media. So, just people who are doing these shows and doing events in SEMA, and then that's not even including the Friday show of when it's open to the public. So to say, hey, did you see that one person? It's impossible. You could spend 2 weeks. If it was 2 weeks, you could probably get majority of it done, but not 1 week. So, that being said, one thing that was about the size of it, the magnitude of this place, is this book. This is the guide. This is your directory. Now, if you look at it, I'm gonna flip through it a little bit. there's not many advertisements. A lot of it is just this is the categories of everyone there, and then if you go further forward, it's a breakdown of each booth of like what they are, what the location is, what their specialty is, their booth number. So this is a pretty thick book. This is like a half-inch thick book of just the booths, of just the people there. And then another thing, the voice is getting a little dry. Gotta wet the whistle. That's better. So I also, in that book, was a map. Here is the whole layout of the SEMA show. Each color is a hall, and each of them have their own designations. Like West Hall is blue, green is the north, red is central, orange is south, and there's south lower. And majority of, let's see if I can get a little closer. The media center is where a lot of the conferences were, and panels where people could talk about the future of automobiles and the future of the custom world and certain topics. A lot of it were at the media hall, which was the central hall and the south hall. But then those are Vegas blocks, the dark gray, and that's not even including the outside. I'll step back a little bit. That's not including the 3 burnout pits. You know, we had the burn yard, we had the optimum drifting park, and then on the other end, in the West Hall, you had where Westland Champlin was with his burnout stuff. And so at one time, there was all 3 going. So now I'm going to flip it over where you can actually see the layout of each hall. Now you see those squares, right? Those are all vendors. But if you look closer, there's a lot of smaller vendors that had smaller booth setups. So look at all of these squares. Each one of those is a vendor. Each one of that is a row. And look, then you see the SEMA Fest area. You have, and then that's not including the outside. There's a few outside vendors. Like you had, was it Mothers? I believe Mothers was outside. You had an Optimum and MagnaFlow booths that were just huge. You had BenPack was a big outside one. So there was vendors and booths everywhere. Then the cars. From you can tell from my post, that was a small percentage of the amount of cars that were there. There is hundreds of cars. There's cars in the hall. There's cars at booths. There's multiple cars outside. Hundreds of cars outside. And then on top of that, you could see the burnout cars. They're all parked up, and the ride-along cars. At one time, you had all 3 burnout yards at once, drifting, burnout, and the burn yard going. You had all 3 yards roasting tires. It looked like fog, and it shut down. I to see the aerial view of that would have been nuts. It shut down at like the 2 or 3 block area. That's how large. Like, it's massive, and you're not walking. For you to go from the West Hall to the South Hall, it's 45 minutes at least of a walk. It's so big. Tesla has what's called a Tesla Loop, where it's all underground tunnels, and you go down this escalators and go, I want to go to the North Hall, and let's say you're at the South Hall. Okay, go to line 4. You get in your Tesla. Underground, you pop up, and you're good to go. You can do that all day long. It makes life a lot easier. So that's the kind of the breakdown of SEMA itself. And to experience SEMA, and if you have the ability to, highly recommend either go as a media or as a buyer. The experiences are going to be great. As media, like myself with SEMA Action Network, I was able to pick up my pass on Monday. And you can kind of walk around. I didn't want to step on too many toes just yet. as your first time. So I was very, very cautious. But people, you can, as media and booth people, they can kind of walk around all the convention halls and kind of just see how people are setting up. They're setting up their booths and they're setting up the lighting. They're still doing their fine touches, but it's all set up. And then also with media, you can arrive an hour early before the gates open to kind of get your content done before it gets mobbed. And when I say mobbed, it's like Times Square Christmas. It's jammed, like all of a sudden the place comes alive and there is hundreds of thousands of people. It's just packed. And that was to see that. So you get your hour, and then as soon as the gates open, the floodgates open, and so to see all that and to get like, hey, did you see this one thing? Not gonna happen, So a lot of if you're a buyer, a lot of the booths want to talk to you to make business, which is totally understandable. And when you're media, you can go up to booths, start a conversation, and make content for them. Especially if you have already relations with certain booths, certain vendors, which is great. But even if you go as on Friday, it's worth the trip. So even just Friday, it's a madhouse, but it's still an experience that you're like, this is a trade show that I've never seen before. I've been to pet expos, I've been to other car conventions, I've been to tool expos. Don't hold a candle to what SEMA pulls off every year. And just to see the magnitude of it, it's crazy. It's to see that they pull this off, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And if you can go, don't hesitate on thinking, oh, I'll go next year. No, go that year. Just go. Make it work, because it was insane. From just the learning, the seminars to all these unveilings they had, and you can't be like, oh, you can have a list of things that you want to do. Like I had an idea. Okay, I want to be here. I want to do here. I want to see this. I want to see that. It's impossible to see everything because you'll have 10, 20 things going on at once that you want to see. You just got to pick one and deal with it, And that was pretty intense to realize that. Like, there's a lot of panels discussing topics, future of automobiles, where you think EVs are going, where do you think the custom world's going, OSHA, where are the aftermarket world, and then you have the unveilings. Like I was at the car aisle tools, and they introduced their new Top Fuel dragster driver and the new car, so that was pretty cool to see. And I got to see Brian Holmes. Is it Holmes? I forget his last name. He was doing the unveiling, and then every big player was there discussing their next year's latest and greatest, from like Miller Welders, Benpack, everybody. Everyone had a lot to do, and it's like they're showing what they're capable of doing next year. And you can see, like, you can go every year and have a different thing you want to do, and your experience will be different and be just as great as the last time. Like, you can go and just see cars for the first 4 days, and the next year go talk to vendors, and then like another year just do seminars and panel discussions and sit on that stuff. Like, it's like it'll take multiple times to go to get the 100% experience. And to see all that, it really puts you in perspective, like how large the automotive community is and like what it brings to the table. Like, a lot of the topics that they were discussing was the right to modify. That's like the next big hurdle that SEMA Action Network wants to handle. So that was a lot of discussion. So that was pretty cool to see that kind of like firsthand kind of stuff for next year. And to see people that you see on YouTube or see on TV shows, and to hear them talk about topics, or you hear them make a video about something that they're doing, it was like you were in the, it was, you were right there. You were in the middle of it. So that is an experience that for a gearhead, you have to go see, you know, um, and to see all that. And like I said, I can't thank everyone at SEMA Action Network enough. I do it so much. It's like, relax. But no, it's amazing what the opportunities they've given me, and it really means a lot that they gave me these opportunities to do the things that I've done, and it's really amazing. And if this doesn't show you what the hard work gets you, I can't convince you anymore. To be a SEMA member, if this isn't proof of what you put in, you get out. If you don't see that, sorry, bud. This is something it still feels like a dream. Like when I was there, I was like, holy hell, I'm at SEMA right now. And I'm at SEMA. I'm behind the scenes at SEMA. I'm a behind the scenes guy. I love that, like how stuff works, and that to see that on that kind of, for that it's amazing. No, I'm not heating up a crystal pipe. Cigar went out. So that was my experience, and to meet people that you've known online, like your social media friends, to meet them in person was always cool. Like to put a face to the name, to work alongside people that you follow on social media, and now you're working with them. It's pretty cool to be with that situation. And the SEMA, it makes everyone almost an equal playing field. Yes, some people have more power than others, but it really makes it like, hey, let's make a video. Hey, I love what you do. And you're having a conversation. Like, I've met the guys at Big Time. I met JH Diesel. I saw Westland. I saw Dave Chappelle. I saw the guys that run Gambler 500. I saw Joel from Overkill. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up?" And we're bullshitting about something, like I follow you. Oh, cool. My car's over here. Oh man, I took pictures, and like, oh, it's pretty cool how like it becomes one-on-one and very personal. I'm like someone that you like. Oh, I want to build what you build. I want to, I watch your videos. It's pretty cool. It really brings it very down to earth, which is really cool. And it's like the running joke was, bring your comfortable shoes. Yes, because there's so much to do. You don't want your feet hurting, because you'll be done. And I'm still seeing videos of, hey, did you see this booth? No, it's as I showed you before. It's the video. The booths are, there's so many, and it's an experience that everyone needs to do. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll hopefully have some more videos on my other experiences with SEMA Action Network in the future. We don't know. So let me finish this, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.